It's time again for the Science Bowl.
Zoo Parade for 5. What big teeth the hippo has are actually a pair of these. Science Potpourri for 10. Would a snake most likely eat every day? Every week, Dateline Science for 10. Why are some elephants wearing necklaces these days? Green things for 15.
And now, here's your host, Mr. Z himself, Dave Zarin.
And thank you and welcome to the Science Bowl, a special edition today. The two teams you're about to meet have won once previously. Today's winner moves on to vie for a semifinal elimination spot in this year's elementary school competition. Play along with us today and test your own science IQ. Let's meet today's teams. First from Longfields Elementary School, say hello to Olu Akeju, Wade Evans, and Andrew Ablor. And from Tulip Grove, say hello to Fallon Travers, Jerome Holness, and Addison Queen. And now here are the categories of questions we use on the Science Bowl.
Okay, Mr. Z, here's today's categories. Green things, questions about plants and all things green and growing. Zoo Parade, a Noah's Ark of questions about animals. Body systems, we'll see how much you know about yourself, about things like breathing and growing and digesting your food. Let's get physical. Questions that test your knowledge of physics and chemistry, earth science and space science. Then there's Science Potpourri. Here's a grab bag of science questions, everything from air pollution to the kitchen sink. And finally, Dateline Science. We'll ask you about science history and science in the news.
And here on the Science Bowl, we arrange our game board according to the difficulty of the question. Easier questions worth 5 and 10 points. Tougher ones worth 15, 20, and ultimately 25, the toughest of them all. Both of our teams start out at 50 points. No penalties ever for incorrect answers. And at the end of the 2 rounds today, we will have a candidate to move on in our competition. Let's go over and make sure everything is working properly. Let's go to that red team. Wade, would you try your buzzer? It checks out A-OK. Good luck to you, to Olu, and to Andrew. And Jerome, how about the green teams? Tulip Grove looks like it's ready and raring to go as well. Good luck to you, to Fallon, and to Addison. Congratulations, guys, for making it this far in the competition. Let's have a super game. May the better team win. We go alphabetically, L before T. So Longfields and Wade, let's play this game.
Green things for 20.
Green things for 20 points. Teams, few plants can grow on the forest floor because the fallen leaves make it very difficult to see for seeds to do what on the forest floor? Very difficult for them to do what, Tulip Grove?
Germinate?
To germinate, absolutely. Germination's very tough, okay, because the conditions aren't right, and that helps to keep the forest from getting too dense. Go green.
Body systems for 15.
Body systems for 15 points. Teams, there are 2 words that are near homonyms, abominable and abdominal. Abominable is a snowman. Abdominal are muscles in your lower torso. Spell abdominal for me. Longfields. Who's my speller?
Andrew.
Andrew, say the word for me, please.
Abdominal?
Abdominal.
Abdominal.
Abdominal. Yes, sir.
Abdominable.
Ooh, not quite, not quite.
Sorry,
No.
guys.
Tulip Grove, I need you to spell abdominal. Yes.
Abdominal. A-B-D-O-M-A-B-L-E.
No. A-B-D-O-M-I-N-A-L. Abdominal. You kept putting A-B-L-E on the end there. Good try, no points. Go again, green.
Let's get physical for 15.
Physical for 15 points. Teams, there's a book out by Sam Kane called The Disappearing Spoon. It's all about the chemical element gallium, which is solid at room temperature. But if you take a gallium spoon and you stir your hot cocoa, what happens to it? Longfields?
Pass to Olu.
It starts to liquidify.
Starts to liquefy. It melts. Yes, it does. Good. Go red. Andrew, you're fussing with something over there. Is your microphone all right? You don't need to keep adjusting that, all right?
Sorry, it fell.
Okay. Is it all right now?
I think so.
Okay, we'll let you know if we have any audio problems there. I just didn't want you to be distracted here and miss some of the questions. Okay, go red.
Let's get physical for 20.
Physical for 20 points. All right, James. A calorie is usually associated with diet and nutrition, but a calorie is actually a way of measuring the amount of this contained within food. A calorie is a measurement of what, Wade?
Fat.
Not fat. Tulip Grove, a calorie is a measurement, actually a measurement of this that is contained within food.
Salt. Sugar. Salt.
Heat. Heat. It's a measurement of heat. Try again, please. Red.
Zuperade for 20.
Zuperade for 20 points. All right, teams. The reason why rodents aren't carnivores is because they lack these kind of teeth. What kind of teeth do you not find in rodents?
Canines.
Canines. That's right. There are no canines there, which would make them carnivorous. Nicely done. Go red.
Zuperade for 25.
Zuperade for 25. Big one in that category. Teams, Greta Thunberg, the young girl from Sweden who was named Time Magazine's Person of the Year, recently had a beetle named after her. So Greta is the species name, whereas the first name, as in any scientific name, is known as this G-initialed kind of name. It's the genus name, a genus and a species. Homo sapiens, boa constrictor. Go again, red.
Zuperade for 15.
Zuperade for 15 points. Teams, there is a famous Christmas carol about geese a-laying and calling birds and swans a-swimming. And then there was one of these in a pear tree. Tulip Grove.
A partridge.
A partridge in a pear tree, that's right. Who can remember all those birds and how many of what each one did what? Go green. High score, 85 all, excuse me.
Body systems for 10.
Body assistance for 10 points. Teams, if you're suffering from anosmia, you're not hard of hearing, you're hard of this sense, which is related to taste. Longfields.
Your smell.
Yes, sir?
Your smell.
Smelling, that's right, you're hard of smelling if you suffer from anosmia. Nicely done, you pulled that one out. Go, 10-point lead.
Body systems for 20.
Body systems for 20 points. Teams, the famous statue Venus de Milo looks like she's in need of 2 humerus bones, 2 ulnas, and 2 radii because she is missing both of her what? Wade.
Hips.
Not hip.
No.
No, the Venus de Milo statue, she's missing both of her what? Which could be remedied if we got her 2 humeruses, 2 ulna, and 2 radii.
Arms.
Yeah, she's missing her arms, you know, that famous statue. And there she is. It's like, what happened to the woman's arms? All right, the buzzer says we've come to the end of the first round. It's a good game. Tulip Grove's at 105. Longfield's right behind at 95. We'll be back with round 2 in just a moment. And we welcome you back to Science Bowl and hope you're enjoying this game at home. We are so proud of these young people here. They've won once previously, and you can see why. They know their stuff. They know their science, and they know how to collaborate and talk to each other. Let's find out a little bit about them. If you didn't meet them the last time, let's introduce them to you now. Wade, over at Longfields there, your principal. Who's the principal?
Miss Bell.
Miss Bell, and I know she's here. She's rooting for you guys. And Miss Bear is your wonderful coach. And you've got a couple alternates, or at least one. Who's the alternate?
Deontay and Ava.
Wonderful. They'll be out in just a few moments' time here. And you told me how much fun it is to be at Longfields, that the teachers really care about you. And so you're obviously in a very good place there. You've got to be star students because you're proving that. What do you want to do someday, Wade?
I want to be a football player, and if not that, a lawyer.
Yeah, because we were talking about that, and Wade loves to argue. And he tells me he wins his arguments. So being a lawyer sounds like a good career path for him. Andrew, nice to have you here today. And you're interested in a lot of different things. But what I remember most of what you told me last time is you want to make money. That's part of the American dream. It's nothing to be ashamed of. In fact, that's what drives this country. And how do you intend to make this money?
Well, I'm just gonna do what other people do, just work for it.
Yeah, and just work harder at it. Exactly. They say if you build a better mousetrap, people will beat a path to your door. So take something that maybe is familiar and change it, and you'll have people eating out of your hand.
Wait, what?
And I know you like to watch Science Bowl. You've told me that before.
Yeah.
That accounts for so much of what Andrew knows here today. He's an outstanding young man. And Olu, you'd like to be a chemist, you told us before. Yeah?
Yeah.
Yep. And have you done any chemical experiments that you can tell us about?
No.
Had you ever heard of the gallium spoon that melts at almost room temperature?
No.
No, it's kind of a parlor trick thing. It's like, what happened to that spoon? It was solid a moment ago. Good to have you back. Tulip Grove, nice to have you guys back with us as well. Jerome, Miss Jamie Whitfield Coffin is here, your principal, and your wonderful coach. Who's your new coach?
Mr. Allen.
Mr. Allen, Mr. Sean Allen, continuing a family tradition because his dad, Robert, was a longtime coach at Magnolia, and he's here today as well. Told me about Tulip Grove before, all the wonderful things that go on there, also wonderful teachers, and it's almost a brand new school. What do you like best about the brand new school?
I like the flowers that when you enter the building, you can see the plants on the door.
Yeah. Isn't there a slogan there, Tulip Grove, where children bloom?
From great to exceptional.
When children bloom from great to exceptional.
Exactly right, yeah, and you're wonderful examples of that. Any alternates on your team, Jerome? I know you got a couple.
Yes, we have Elizabeth, we have Julia, and Jonathan.
Wonderful, and they'll be out in a few moments with your principal. And your principal designed those matching shirts, right?
Yes.
Those great science shirts that you're wearing over there. Yeah, you dressed the part today. You guys look terrific as well. Tell me what you want to do someday, Jerome.
I want to be an astronaut mostly.
Really?
Yeah.
Would you like to travel back to the moon? Because we Americans haven't been there in a while. Would you go to Mars?
Yes. Mars.
That'd be a long commitment to get there and then try to get back. Takes a lot of courage, but you know, you're going to live long enough to see great advances in space travel. So I'm going to keep my eye on you. I'm going to say I remember him when. Addison, nice to have you here today. Tell us why you wanted to be on this show.
Well, I like science, and I've been in STEM club since I was in first grade.
Yeah.
So I figured that Science Bowl would be a nice fit for me.
And it is a nice fit for you. And you told me on another show that you're interested in cosmetics, developing your own cosmetics. And as we were sharing then, it's a lot of chemistry. So a lot of science is going to come to bear on that. And Fallon is here, and she has been here before. And what do you like about the show?
I like the challenge because you never really know what questions you're going to get, so you really have to train yourself to know what you're going to get.
Exactly. And hopefully the questions tap into some things that you're familiar with so that they're answerable. As you learn in my business, anybody can ask questions that nobody can answer. There's no fun in that. You got to come up with questions that are challenging, that it's possible to answer them. What do you want to do someday? Because I know you have a lot of talents.
I can't really decide between marine biology and being a cardiac surgeon.
Yeah, marine biology. Have you been scuba diving or snorkeling ever?
No.
You've got to do that. You know, if you want to have a career in marine biology, you got to get down there in the water and maybe not get inside the shark cage. I don't know I would do that either. But find a place where it's a little safer. Let's get back to the game. 95 for Longfields, 105 Tulip Grove. Lots of points to give away. And Jerome, start us out.
Science Potpourri for 15.
Potpourri for 15 points. Teams, this man not only invented the light bulb, but also the record player and the phonograph and the records that were played on them. Tulip Grove.
Thomas Edison.
Thomas Edison would be he. Absolutely right. Good answer. Go.
Let's get physical for 25.
Physical for 25. Big one in that category. Teams, the last chemical element on the periodic table that occurs naturally is number 92 with the symbol U. Longfields.
Pass to Olu.
Olu.
Uranium?
Uranium. My chemist came through for me. Yes, sir. Good. Go. Red.
Dateline Science for 15.
Dateline for 15 points. Teams, look at the monitor in the studio if you would, please. 150 years ago, a scientist by the name of Robert Hooke looked through an old microscope at a section of cork from a tree and noticed that the cork was arranged in tiny little boxes. For the first time ever, he said all living things are made of what? Tulip Grove.
Atoms.
Not atoms. Good try. He looked at that picture and said all living things are made of, what are those little boxes?
Bones.
Cells. Cells. Go again, red.
Green things for 15.
Green things for 15 points. Teams, all nuts can be eaten, but the shells around nuts cannot be eaten and are described by what I initialed word, meaning you can't eat them. Longfields.
Pastor Olu.
Olu.
Inedible.
Inedible, yes sir. Good. Red.
Green things for 25.
Green thing for 25. Big one in that category. Look back to the monitor, please, in the studio for this question. You know, there is a kind of apple called the opal apple that if you cut it, it does not turn brown. But here you can see a browned section of apple. That happens when the apple tissue is exposed to the air. Some people call it rust. What O initial process causes that browning to occur? O initialed Tulip Grove.
Old.
Not coming to you. Longfields, any idea? It's called oxidation. It's oxygen affecting that tissue. That rust is another name for oxidation. Go red. You have a 15-point lead. Wade.
Body system. No, Zuperate for 10.
Zuperate for 10 points. All right, teams. You know, adolescent animals. Kids, what are you going to do with them? Young elephants, young wolves, young human beings. They test things. They do stupid stuff. A lot of times it's because they respond to this kind of pressure. Longfields.
Peer pressure.
Peer pressure, exactly right. Good. Go.
Science Potpourri for 20.
Potpourri for 20 points. Teams, your question is as follows. In the Peanuts comic strip, Peppermint Patty told the teacher the day she was to deliver her dinosaur report that her report would be on the dinosaur bronchitis. The teacher said, "Don't you mean brontosaurus?" And she said, "Oh, yes, because bronchitis is actually a condition that affects which of our body organs?" Tulip Grove.
Your lungs.
Your lungs is right. Yes, good. Green, go.
Science Potpourri for 25.
Potpourri for 25 points. Big one in that category. Teams, what letter of the alphabet is both a vitamin and the chemical symbol for potassium? What letter of the alphabet? Longfields.
C.
Not C. K is right, indeed. Good. Good answer. Go green. That puts you into the lead.
Body systems for 25.
Body systems for 25 points. Teams, Russia's Tsar Nicholas II's son Alexei famously suffered from hemophilia, a disease that manifests itself in what happening? What happens if you have hemophilia? Yes, Tulip Grove.
High-pitched voice.
Say it again.
A high-pitched voice.
No. Longfields, any idea about hemophilia? It's the bleeder's disease. If you're cut, bleeding does not stop. Go again, please. Green. You have a 20-point lead.
Dateline Science for 20.
Dateline for 20 points. Teams, Elon Musk's company is looking for a new supply of this chemical element for making all the electric car batteries that he will need. All right, Wade.
Pastor Olu.
Olu.
Acid.
Not acid. What chemical element is he looking for to make all of the electric batteries that he's going to need for his cars? Lithium. Lithium, like lithium-ion batteries that we use for all of our devices. Go again, green.
Green things for 10.
Green things for 10 points. Teams, if you eat a rutabaga or a carrot or a potato, you're eating what part of those plants? What part are you eating?
Pastor
Jerome?
Fallon.
The bulb.
The what?
The bulb.
Not the bulb, no. What part of the plant are you eating if you're eating the carrot or the potato or the rutabaga, Wade?
Pastor Andrew. The fruit.
The root. The root. Those are all root vegetables. Try again, green.
Dateline Science for 25.
Dateline Science for 25 points. Teams, Christina Koch just made history. She is the American woman who has spent more time in space than any other woman. They are thinking that she could be the first woman to walk on the moon, meaning she would be right up there with what man who first walked on the moon. Tulip Grove.
Neil Armstrong.
Neil Armstrong is right. Yes, sir. Go green.
Let's get physical for 10.
Let's get physical for 10 points. Teams, your question is as follows. You know, in Peter Pan, Tinkerbell sprinkled the fairy version of this. But astronomers say we, all people, are made up of this that comes from the stars. Longfields.
Pastor Andrew.
Dust.
Dust. Yeah, we're made of stardust. That's it, Andrew. Go red.
Science potpourri for 10.
Potpourri, 10 points. Here's your question. On Sesame Street, the character Julia suffers from an A-initialed condition. Yes, Jerome.
Autism.
Yes, she has autism, indeed. Go green.
Dateline Science for 10.
Dateline for 10 points. Teams, recently, George Lauren died at age 94. He is best known for developing the UPC, the Universal Product Code that we see on everything we buy. It is otherwise known as this code. Tulip Grove.
The barcode.
The barcode it is. Yep, go.
Dateline Science for 5.
Dateline for 5 points. In Frozen 2, Queen Elsa magically manipulates what two frozen things?
Pastor Andrew.
Water?
No. What two frozen things does she manipulate, Tulip Grove?
Ice and snow.
Ice and snow, exactly right. Go green.
Science potpourri for 5.
Potpourri for 5 points. Teams, if you're playing football, Wade, and you've scored a touchdown, you go over and you might want to bump your friends. What body parts do you bump?
The chest.
Your chest or your fist. Chest bumps or fist bumps. Go red.
Green things for 5.
Green things for 5 points. Teams, the last book Dr. Seuss wrote in 1995 was about a little girl, Maisie McGrew, 12 years old, who had one of these flowers with big white petals and a yellow center growing right out of the top of her head, Longfields.
Daisy.
The daisy, that daisy head Maisie is right. Go red.
Zoo parade for 5. Parade for 5.
Parade for 5 points. Teams, if you read Moby Dick, you learn an awful lot about what mammals?
Whales.
Whales is right, yes. 2 left, yes sir.
Body systems for 5.
Body systems for 5 points. At an NHL hockey game, if there's a fight, pretty soon the ice is littered with a trail of bicuspids, meaning what's all over the ice?
Salt.
Not salt, body systems.
Water.
Teeth. They had their teeth knocked out. Yeah, Fallon's going, oh my gosh, that's an awful sport. Let's get physical for 5 points. Last question of the game. All that glitters is not this.
Gold.
Gold. We've had a golden time here today, but it looks like by a few points, Tulip Grove is moving on in the competition. We'll be right back. Don't go away. We knew we were going to have a great game, and that's exactly what we got. 6 outstanding young people here. And toward the end, it was just so close, testifying to how well these young people play our game. Our final tally today, look at this score. Longfields 175, Tulip Grove 215. Congratulations to the team over there with the matching shirts. Fallon and Jerome and Addison, and way back there, the alternates, Elizabeth and Julia and Jonathan. Their wonderful principal, Jamie Whitfield Coffin, is there, and their new coach, Mr. Sean Allen over there, whose father is in the studio but did not want to intrude on his son's big moment here. Nice round of applause for the Tulip Grove team. And this would not have been a game without these young men over here. Andrew and Wade and Olu, what a game they played. And Ava and Deontay, I know how proud you are of them. Here is Miss Bell. She is here supporting their wonderful team. And Ms. Bear, thank you always for sending us a great team. Another round of applause for this Longfields team. We thank you for being with us today on the Science Bowl and hope you'll join us again. Until then, I'm Dave Zarin. See you then. Bye-bye.